And hello, football fans. Let's skip that fantasy part because we're dealing with real NFL prop bets on the underdogs this week. Welcome to the second edition. If you were missing me and Sebastian, we had a little unscheduled mishap and we weren't able to jive this week. But hey, man, I kept my word. I want to get Dave Heilman on this, and I want to introduce him as the future host of the second editions for the rest of this year and into the playoffs for the player prop bets, and we'll be doing some parlays and stuff. But today we have a special. We're going to just really hit this offense really hard because Dave's been hard at work and he's got some great bets to start with. And we're going to go with the Bengals and Joe Mixon. You want to run from there for me, Dave?
Yeah, no, thanks for the intro. Glad to be here. And Joe Mixon's been great, and Jake Browning and the Bengals they've been awesome. 27, 34, and 34 of their point totals. Joe Mixon's seen an increase not only in his rushing work, but as well as his receiving work. And even with Chase Brown in there, he's getting all the work at the goal line. 4 touchdowns in the last few weeks. And I'm going to go with an anytime touchdown, either whether it's rushing or receiving. He's even thrown a touchdown at one point. I'm going to take that this week. Love the matchup against the Steelers. Thinks he gets some short fields with Mason Red-Nosed Rudolph back there. And Joe Mixon, anytime touchdown. Give it to me.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. The
Steelers are allowing a ton of rushing yards. Sorry, Gary.
No. Go right ahead, brother.
Over the last 3 weeks, 170 plus 100, 150 plus 81. So 81 is the lowest that they let up in the last 3 weeks. And then 25 points per game over the last 3 weeks. Allowed 3 touchdowns to running backs, 2 through the ground, 1 through the air.
Nice. Next, give us another.
LaPorta. I mean, it's been an awesome year for rookies, and LaPorta is already a must-start tight end. In the last 3 weeks, he's been great. 556, 3 touchdowns last week, 2 for 23, 0 touchdowns, but then 9 for 140 and 1. When the Lions are playing indoor, there's some indoor cats. They're averaging 31 points a game indoors, and LaPorta is the second option in that passing attack. And this Minnesota defense, they've been better under Brian Flores, but they're still allowing a ton of work to the tight ends. Tanner Hudson had 5 for 49 last week. Komet had 7 for 43. LaPorta, he does a lot more damage down the field as well as after the catch than those guys. So give me the LaPorta line. It's been moving a little bit. Originally I had 50 plus. You can take the 50 plus. It's at I think -1 or minus 115. But I'm going for some plus. I want some juice. It's Christmas. Give me 60 plus with plus 140 odds.
Yeah, big reminder, folks. You want to jump on these bets as soon as you possibly can because of those lines changing. And, they're changing for a reason because they're good bets.
Absolutely. And then Jordan Addison. A lot of people were scared off of Jordan Addison last week because of the return of Justin Jefferson. And you paid for it. 6 for 111 and 2 touchdowns. Nick Mullins is a gunslinger. He's going to turn the ball over quite a bit, but he's also going to throw the ball a ton. Minnesota is 4th in passing attempts on the season, 34 in each of their last 3 games, and they're 7th in passing yards. Last week, Mullins had 303, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. He's going to throw the ball, and you're looking at what the Lions are giving up. Jerry Jeudy, 5 for 74. He's not the number one. Mooney had 44 yards. They're allowing 225 passing yards on the year, over 215 in the last 3 games. So I like this one. I think, with Addison 60 plus, getting some plus juice on that, I think it's an easy hit versus the Lions.
Nice.
Bijan Robinson. So Arthur Smith, he's an idiot. And so we saw last week negative points for Bijan Robinson, and they lost to the worst team in the NFL. So he's got to save his job. They're in a cupcake division, so they're still somehow in it to win the division. And they know, all the coaches know, everyone knows, the only way to do that is to involve Bijan Robinson, who they spent a high draft pick on. 25 plus receiving yards and getting plus juice on that. The Colts they're letting it. They're the fastest pace of play team in the league. Their games are shootouts, and they're allowing 20 plus fantasy points combined to the running back, especially in the screen game. They're getting gouged. This last week, 4 receptions for 41 yards led up to the running back position. Bijan should be able to hit that 25 plus number easily, and I love the plus juice on that. Bijan bounce back.
Nice. Then we'll roll right on to the Cardinals.
Yeah, James Conner, give me 50.5 alternative rushing yards because it's got the juice. I'm taking it. I think you could even tease that up to a 60, but I'm going to stick with the 50.5. Keep it nice and simple. Connor's been getting almost all the work, and so you're looking at someone that stays on the field on third downs, and so whether they're past the ball, running the ball, he's getting it. Here for rushing, the Bears. They're not one of the best tackling defenses in the league. They also, they're giving up a lot of points to the offenses, and they can't stop the run. So give me 50.5 for James Conner on the ground.
Nice. I like this Dolphins Raheem Mostert, man, because I'll tell you what, I think it was you that might have been helping me draft or help me here and there with what was Scott Fishbowl. And this dude saved my ass at the beginning of the season because I had Taylor and Ekeler both go down on that team. So, I mean, Mostert was a great grab at the end. I believe he was the one that tipped me off on that.
Well, I hope I did. And Raheem Mostert is one of the he's the Jamal Williams of last year. He's already doubled his career touchdown total. And if he gets 2 more touchdowns, he'll hit the 20 touchdown mark, which is pretty rare for any NFL player. And so Cowboys, if you watched the game last week, James Cook looked like Barry Sanders. He was just slicing that defense up. The Cowboys are a much different team than they were the first half of the season. And Raheem Mostert is just looking great. Achane is definitely someone that I peeked at for some numbers. He's dealing with a turf toe, so I'm going to stick with Mostert. And I didn't want to go crazy and get 2 touchdowns in there. But this guy's already got 18 in 15 weeks. He's got 18 touchdowns. So I'm going to take him for an easy anytime touchdown against the Cowboys, negative 130.
Nice. You're going to have to shake that off too, brother. We love the juice on the underdogs anytime you do want to bring it. So whatever that is, keep that in mind. That +2 touchdowns you say must be sitting there kind of looking good too.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, you can tell that they're expecting him to score a touchdown with the odds.
Nice.
Pacheco, he's coming back. Last week we did see, Clyde Edwards-Helaire look pretty good. The last 2 weeks they've had a combination of CH and McKinnon back there, but Pacheco is the lead dog, and he's coming back, and I expect him to score a touchdown today. He gets the Raiders. The Chiefs always roll on the Raiders. And so if they're going to score 3 or 4 touchdowns, which is what their implied point total is, I'm expecting one of those to go to Pacheco. And you get the luxury. It's not just a rushing touchdown. It could be receiving, but I expect it to be a rushing touchdown here. And +150, yeah, smash it.
I can see that, man, because the Raiders' interior defensive line, if it ain't Max Crosby, they play Olay and let it happen. So I like that one, man. That's a good one.
Yeah, I had to throw an under in there. It's really sad. Austin Ekeler was, he's one of my favorite players. I love how he embraces fantasy football. I love how he embraces the fans, and feel like he's just one of those guys you always want to cheer for. But it's been really bad this year, and the Chargers have been awful. Last week they gave up 63 points to the Las Vegas Raiders. That tells you everything you need to know. GM got fired, coach got fired. We'll see if that what that ends up being. But the guy calling the play is still going to be the same. It's Kellen Moore. And last week, Ekeler was out-touched by Isaiah Spiller, who had double-digit rushing attempts. And you also had Josh Kelly out there that out-touched him. So Austin Ekeler he doesn't seem like he's a part of their future. and they're trying out their other backs. And so 71.5, he hasn't hit that number in a few weeks, so I don't expect him to hit it again. And it's minus 115, not a huge juice here, but I think the Bills put the clamps on Ekeler.
It's still though. It's cash money, man. Good bet. Good bet.
And the last one, this one's moved on me. It used to be 24.5. Now they've moved it to, if you get 24.5, it's negative odds right now. James Cook has been great. He's been on fire, both on the ground and through the air. And again, the Chargers led up 63 points to the Las Vegas Raiders. The Bills are going to put up a lot of points against them this week. And James Cook, since Ken Dorsey is out of town, has got no less than 16 touches a game. And he's finally getting used in the receiving game, whether it's in the screens, lining them up in the slot, or just hitting him out of the back, hitting him out in the flat. I love James Cook this week, and 240. I was like, I gotta save a good one for the end. Give me James Cook 40 plus receiving at plus 240 odds against the Chargers.
Nice. If we can get a quick recap here, we're just going to let everybody know. Again, these lines are very mobile. They're going to go up and down, so jump on these as soon as you can. And a big-ass reminder, we're giving out you these best bets, and we're not actually doing an underdog lineup today, but, man, these guys would look really pretty in some parlays on DraftKings. So we're going to roll. He rolled with the Bengals, Joe Mixon, anytime TD versus the Steelers. And then he had the Lions, Sam LaPorta, receiving 60 yards versus the Vikings. The Vikings of Jordan Addison, 60-plus alternative receiving yards versus the Lions. Then we had the Falcons of Bijan Robinson, plus 25 receiving yards versus the Colts. Then we're down to the Cardinals, James Cook, plus 50.5 alternative rushing yards versus the Bears. Dolphins was Raheem Mostert. I said it wrong earlier. I still probably said it wrong. Anytime TD versus the Cowboys. And then we have the Chiefs. Oh, I can't even. I want to call them pistachio, but that's just wrong, man. So we'll go with Chiefs. Pacheco? What is it? Say, come on, help me out. You got to throw me a lifeline, man. You got a lifeline every once in a while. Okay. Anytime TD versus the Raiders. Then we have the Chargers, Austin Ekeler, under 71.5. Those are yards?
And that's all purpose. That's rushing and receiving combined.
Okay. All purpose versus the Bills. And then we have the Bills, James Cook, 40-plus receiving yards, plus 240 for the juice of the day versus the Chargers. And, of course, I cannot let this go without putting some type of dirty O in there, in which my dumb butt didn't put in this visual here for us. So I'm going to leave these up for a second, and I'm going to switch over.
Well,
go ahead.
While you're doing that, Gary, I can let them know. If you guys do get on the Underdog, there is a site-wide bonus for LeBron James. I know he's not football, offense, or defense, but he's higher than 0.5 points. I think he can pull that off. Pretty good odds. And then so new users will also receive some possible bonuses. They come out tomorrow. There's a Brock Purdy one on Monday, Jordan Love and Russell Wilson tomorrow. They're usually, above 0.5 total yards or something like that. But I have LeBron over 0.5 points, Joe Mixon over 0.5 rushing or receiving touchdowns, Austin Ekeler lower than 71.5 rushing plus receiving, Bijan Robinson higher than 22.5 receiving yards, and James Cook 24.5 rushing yards. That would be a 20x, so you turn 10 into 200.
Nice way to come in and save my ass there, man, with that parlay for him. I appreciate that. Dave's always prepared. That's why I'm excited to have you on board, man, for the rest of this season and through the playoffs, brother. Bringing the best we can find, and you're definitely one of the better guys I've ever dealt with. So, I'll go ahead and throw these two little Monday night games. I'm going to go with the interior defensive line of Philadelphia. I want Jalen Carter at plus 135. It's going to be, he's going to get a sack over a quarter of a sack. Apologies. Versus the Giants. And then we're going to go with Fletcher Cox, the other interior defensive lineman. He's over 0.025 at plus. I want to take over quarter of a sack at plus 125 versus the Giants. And I'm just going to sum this up real easily with these guys. These two dudes have been studs on the interior defensive line. They have multiple, for defensive tackles, they have multiple sacks this year. And for the last 5 weeks, just to top it off, the Giants have been the number one team allowing any type of production whatsoever on the interior defensive line. So, and it's one of their best suited overall categories in allowing production. So I have no problems thinking that Jalen Carter can get a sack or Fletcher Cox at whatever their lines happen to be. They just happen to be plus at the time that I made these. So to wrap this up all together, again, thanks for coming on, Dave. I look forward to next week. You guys make sure you check us out next week. Towards the end of the week, we're definitely having a first and a second edition. I might throw a little special in there if I feel kind of crazy about it. And Dave, please, anything you'd like to share, or you can find Dave on the X at Dynasty_Dorks, right?
No, just one word, at Dynasty Dorks, capital D's. And Gary, is there an Underdog promo code that they can maybe double their first deposit on?
I don't have at the moment. No, I don't. So
just check out. Go to IDP guys. Is it .com?
Yes.
And I'm sure you can find it on there. But no, I appreciate you having me on. I hope everyone has a happy holidays and Merry Christmas. And yeah, let's get some money with these bets.
Yeah. Everybody have a great Christmas. Have a winning Christmas with the Underdogs. The Dirty-O IDP Underdogs are out.